Hello and welcome to this lecture. And in this lecture we will go ahead and learn about databases and models in Django. So in this lecture we will learn what exactly are models. So until now we have learned how to create a simple website which returns something when we type in a particular URL. However, larger websites actually need a large amount of data to be stored. Now the data for these websites is actually stored in form of a database. So whenever you see a huge website like Facebook or Google, and when they have huge chunks of data, that particular data is actually stored into something which is called as a database. Now the data in that particular database is stored in form of tables or database tables. So you cannot directly go ahead and just randomly store some data into the database, but instead, first of all, you need to create a database table and then store some data into that table. Now what models allow you to do is that models actually allow you to create those database tables. So for example, let's say if you have to create a website, what you can do is that in order to store data into the website, you first need a database, and then in that database, you go ahead and create a table. And now in order to create a table, you need something which is called as a model. So models are actually used to create database tables. So models are the blueprint which can be used to create database tables. So whenever you create a particular database table, you sort of need a schema, or you sort of need a blueprint to create that particular table, and that particular blueprint or schema is nothing but your model. So what exactly models are? So models are nothing but they are classes in Python, which means that whenever you have to create a particular model in Python, that means whenever you have to create a particular schema in Django for building a database table, you would need to create a Python class. So these particular models are actually created in the models.py file. So if you have a look at your project structure, you will notice that there is a file which is called as models.py file. And whenever you need to create a database schema or a model, you just need to go ahead and create a class in that particular file, which is models.py file. Now let's take an example. So let's say if you want to store details of a particular student, so for that purpose you would need a student table in your database. So now whenever you want to create a student table, first of all you need to build a model or a schema of that particular table. So you simply have to go ahead and create a class which is named as student in the models.py file. So that's all about models, and hopefully you guys be able to understand what models actually are and what purpose they serve. So in the upcoming lecture we will actually create a model and see how that model can be used to create a database table. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.